Off the draw, it comes to David Park, and he dumps it deep in Potsdam territory. Bounces side of the net. Picked up on the defense by Williams. Rochford bothering him in the corner. Angstrom comes in to help out as they battle for it. Comes to Angstrom. He drops it to the point. It bounces over a stick out to center ice. Carroll to Park. Back to Carroll to Park. To Michaud. Knocked away from him. Hard check thrown there by Park. The puck squirts free. Picked up by Angstrom. Angstrom dumps it to the Potsdam line. Rochford gets a piece of it. Knocks it across the blue line. Picked up there by Morris. Mike Morris circling in his own end. Flips it ahead Bunstone. Long headman pass into the Massena zone. Back after David Park. Park will gather it as he picks up a forechecker and Scott Butler. Park moves it ahead. Rochford trying to knock it by the forechecker, and he can't do it. That's Marcus Kelleher. They battle along the boards just outside the Massena zone. It squirts free and comes to Angstrom. Here's Angstrom trying to go down the middle. No, he'll go on the side of Menkes. Menkes 1-on-4 takes it in behind the net. Finally, he's rubbed off the puck. It squirts free, and the Stoners move it out to the blue line and out to center ice. Picked up there by Adam Wood. Wood over to Horan. Horan's pass intercepted, comes to the Massena line. Matt Jobe after it as the Robidoux line gets out there. Bouncer in the zone. Here's Kelleher, steals the puck in front, and his shot doesn't get through. Raiders look to move it ahead. And Robidoux lost it off the back of his skate, but Jobe follows up. Matt Jobe with it, right down the middle. Here's Jobe stick handling, trying to center it right across the goal mouth, and the save is made, and the puck bounces to center ice, and here comes Marcus Kelleher the other way. Shot from center, and Meacham lets it go by, in behind the net, bouncing puck. I think it actually went up into the wall and back on the ice surface. So the faceoff will move outside the zone, I do believe. And they're going to face it off inside the Massena zone. Apparently it must be the Raiders deflected it high. And we come out with the Robbie Whitcup line out there. It's Travis Evans along with Josh Warr and Chris Bennett. Off the faceoff, puck all the way out to center ice. No score early in the hockey game. Dump back in the Massena zone. Steve Smith picking it up. Drops it over on the other side as they move it around the horn, and out to center ice it goes. Whitcup has it knocked away. Back inside for Potsdam. They backhanded in the zone off the stick of Chris Bennett. Steve Smith after it, picks it up. He'll flip it on the other side. Brown's pass intercepted. Into the corner it goes. That's Travis Evans. He's taken into the boards by Kevin Horan. The puck bounces free. It's still in there. Evans stays with it. He'll flip it around, but Matt Brown picks it up there for Massena. Brown gets tied up along the boards as they battle for it. Whitcup's in there. The puck's still apparently free. Finally, it squirts to the Massena defense, and Kevin Horan skates it ahead. Here's Horan's headman pass all the way out center ice. Mike Morris dumps it back into the Massena zone. In behind the net it goes. Meacham leaves it for Horan. Horan picks it up and drops it to Steve Smith behind the net. Smith starts out right side. Headman pass to the blue line. Not out of the zone. Dumped back into the corner by the Sandstoners' Josh Taylor. Back after it, Smith looks on the wing. It's deflected to the blue line. Not out of the zone. Bounces into the slot, but it's poke checked away. And out to center ice as Adam Cook couldn't get a stick on it. Back to the Potsdam line. Back out into the neutral zone. Nathan Whitcup steals it there. Whitcup trying to slide it ahead. He's rubbed off the puck, but it's dumped by Michaud back inside. And it comes around the boards, and Bunstone flips it to center ice. Back in the Massena zone, Brian Carroll is there to pick it up. Carroll drop pass to Rochford. Back in the zone it goes. That's Bunstone. Bunstone trying to barge his way through. The puck got through. He didn't. Carroll picks it up, flips it along the boards. Rochford just ticks it outside the zone. Trickles back to the Potsdam zone. Picked up by McCluskey off the glass out to center ice. Bouncing puck. Here comes Potsdam back the other way. Josh Taylor across. He's taken out of the play. Here comes Carroll's headman. Intercepted. Dump back to Carroll right at the Massena line. He'll pick it up again. Doesn't clear the zone. Bunstone skates down the middle. Here's Bunstone taking it wide. Stops in the corner. Wraparound attempt goes in behind the net as he tried to turn it around. Adam Cook flips it in behind as they battle for it there. Side of the net. And the puck bounces free. Into the corner it goes. Racing in after it. Here comes Potsdam. They got a man in front. They go back to the point with it. Here's the shot. Goes high and wide. Bouncing along the boards. James Williams has it knocked away. Comes in the corner. After it is Carroll. Carroll just looking to tie it up as Massena in a little disarray. The puck is free to Carroll, and he'll now take it on the side of the net. Here's Carroll. He'll go off the glass and down the ice. Icing will be called on Massena, and the Sandstoners putting on a little bit of pressure there, and with a good opportunity. So Brian Carroll says, let's get it out of here. 10:47 left in the first period. We're scoreless. Massena Potsdam in a sectional semifinal game. After the icing, faceoff moves back in the Massena zone. Matt Robidoux out there to take the draw for the Raiders. He'll face it off against Marcus Kelleher. Off the faceoff, puck sits in the circle, clear to the blue line. Here's a shot from the point, save made by Meacham. Along the boards, Raiders bang it to the blue line, but not out of the zone, kept in there. Robidoux comes back and pokes it free into the corner. Mankies picks it up. He takes a whack at it, knocked away from him. Now Mankies comes back after again. Kelleher takes it away. Kelleher steps in front. It's poke-checked into the slot, picked up there by Job to Robidoux. Robidoux's pass is blocked. He picks it up again and flips it to Matt Job, and Job breaks out. Here comes Job with it, in on the off wing. Right side, Job, drop past Mankies. Mankies has it poked away, gets it back again. Flips it in behind the net, gets tied up. The puck squirts free to Marcus Kelleher. He's ripped out of there by Job, who picks up the puck. Can't get the handle on it. Comes to Mankies in front to Job. Job lost it, gets the weak shot off Robidoux, and it's knocked away and comes back outside. And here comes Potsdam the other way. So Massena with a couple of good opportunities. Taylor poked away, following up on the play. It bounces in front, but Steve Smith is there. Smith doesn't clear the zone, lost it off the end of his stick. Comes back to Horan. Horan looks for the wing. Mankies takes it back in for Horan as he picked up a forechecker. Now Bunstone steps in front, flips it in the corner, but Mankies is there. Flipping it along the boards, knocked away. And finally, it's tied up. We're down to 9:30 left in the first period, still scoreless on the Evergreen Memorials scoreboard. Hey, is Wall Street taking you on the ride of your life? Now is the time to open a safe and secure North Country Savings Bank high-interest certificate of deposit. Stop in at any location of North Country Savings Bank, Canton, Potsdam, Massena, and Ogdensburg. Travis Evans out there against Whitcup. Off the draw, David Park picks up the loose puck and starts behind his net. Lost it off the end of his stick. Carroll comes in to rip it around the other way, and down the ice it goes. And they wave icing off as somebody touched it on the way by. And the puck cleared by Dangermond into the corner, trying to go to his defenseman, Zern. Now the Raiders pinch in on it, try to put some pressure on. Brown is in there. The puck flipped around the boards. It comes bouncing into the corner. Hard check thrown there. The puck's free. They battle for it. Finally, it's ripped around the boards the other way. Stepping in front. Carroll, can he keep it in? He does momentarily. Now it's high off the glass and out to center ice. Comes to Park. He bangs it ahead to the blue line. After it is Robbie Whitcup. Robbie tries to barge his way through. Now Nathan takes it across, but offsides will be the call on Massena. So the Raiders, much like past games, starting slow tonight. 8:46 remaining in the first period. No score. Massena and Potsdam. It will be Whitcup's line staying out there against the Kelleher line. Kelleher, Murphy, and Butler. Off the draw. Puck back in Potsdam territory. Mike Morris with it. He skates behind his net. Looks up. Morris has it knocked away, gets it back again, and flips it to James Williams. Williams moves it ahead to neutral ice. Kelleher with it. He'll dump it deep in Massena territory. David Park back after it. Park stops behind the net. Has it knocked away. They battle for it, and the puck squirts free to Kevin Horan. Horan off the glass and down the ice, and that'll be icing on Massena as he got just a little bit too much on it. And the whistle will blow, and we'll move it back inside Massena territory. Neither team with really any good scoring opportunities. Massena did have one opportunity side of the net, but nobody could get a stick on it. Potsdam on the other side has thrown a couple from the blue line at the net, but so far no real good scoring opportunities either way. Angstrom's line out now against the Kelleher line off the faceoff. Angstrom goes to Smith behind the net. He gets tied up. The puck goes all the way back to Morris at the point. He tees it up, had a little trouble, had to flip it in the corner. Comes in behind for Angstrom. He gathers it in, flips it back on the other side, and Massena breaks out. Here comes Rochford, headman to Angstrom. Angstrom gets by on the off wing. Here's Angstrom trying to dipsy-doodle by the defenseman, but is poked away by Williams. Puck around the board, and there's going to be a penalty. Our first of the game, and it's going to go against Massena. As Angstrom, Massena's number one penalty killer, picks up a cross-check call. So Potsdam will get the first power play opportunity of the game. Cross-checking the call on Angstrom. The Raiders go to the penalty box. That penalty coming at the 7:12 mark of the period. Coming out on the penalty kill, Robidoux, along with Mankies, David Park, and Brian Carroll. On the power play, Bunstone out there along with Cook and Taylor. So the regular line is out there to try this power play. Puck comes out center ice and Robidoux steals it. Robidoux has it poked away. Goes deep in Massena's zone. Robidoux after it. He cranks it around the boards to Mankies. Steve picks it up and flips it ahead. Down the ice it goes into Potsdam territory. Nick Zern back after it. Zern gathers it in. Starts out on the off wing. Then he flips it ahead to Adam Cook. Cook lost it, gets it back, and dumps it in the Massena zone where Brian Carroll gathers it in. Carroll's quick snap, and it goes into the Potsdam bench, and the faceoff will move back inside Massena territory. 1 minute, 1 second left in the man advantage. 7:11 left in the period, and on the Evergreen Memorial scoreboard, it's 0-0. Broadcast also brought to you tonight by Spanky's on Main Street in downtown Massena. For a delicious meal anytime, make it Spanky's. Be sure to check out their breakfast. Very, very good. Spanky's, Main Street, downtown Massena, off the faceoff. Puck in the circle, and it's picked up by the Stoners as they move it around the horn to the blue line, and it bounces by everybody, and out center ice is Robidoux got a piece of it. Back after Michael Morris. Morris with it. Flips it on the wing. Back to Morris. Robidoux almost stole it, but the puck squirts out. Menkes gets a piece of it, and it's picked up by Marcus Kelleher. Dumps to the Massena line in the zone. Murphy makes the move, trying to flip it wide. It goes into the corner. Picked up there by Park. He has it knocked away, gets it back again. Flips it ahead of the blue line, not out of the zone. Comes back to the point. Williams shot, and that's wide. Bouncing puck comes to Kelleher in the corner as he battles for it. 20 seconds left in the man advantage. They got a man in front, but he can't get the shot off. Puck is cleared down the ice by the Red Raiders, and they'll make some penalty-killing changes here with about 10 seconds left in the man advantage. And we're going to have a penalty on Potsdam as Paul Rochford was heading for the puck, and James Williams knocked him down on the way by. And that's going to be an interference call. And now the Raiders' power play will take the ice in 8 seconds. So Williams gets the call for interference, and the Raiders go on the power play here with a faceoff just inside the Potsdam zone. And we've talked about the Raiders' power play as they have scored a lot of goals on the power play. And we'll see what happens here this evening. Let's see, who do we have out on this power play? Robidoux comes across the boards. And Menkes. Of course, Engstrom's in the penalty box, but he'll be back in a moment. Kevin Horan is out there as well, along with Steve Smith. So Robidoux and Menkes up front on the 4-on-4 for 8 seconds, and the Raiders will pick up the man advantage. No score in the hockey game. We're in the first period here. Massena and Potsdam in a Section 10 semifinal. Our broadcast also brought to you by Massena Optics in downtown Massena. Now we've got a change for Massena as David Park and Brian Carroll come out at the points. Robidoux will take the face-off against Timmy Bunstone. Off the draw, the bouncer high in the air. Robidoux tries to knock it down. It comes back to the blue line, and there's going to be a hand pass called on Massena, and the face-off will move outside as that puck just bounced around, and nobody could gather it. So the Raiders are back to full strength now. So we've got a 5-on-4 power play for Massena. Off the draw, Robidoux has it knocked away, and down the ice it goes into the Massena zone. And the Raiders back after it. Carroll. Now Park, as he throws a check on the Potsdam man. Potsdam, a lot of pressure on the penalty kill. Now Robidoux takes it out of the zone. Here's Robidoux, drop pass. Goes to Menkes. Menkes trying to go to Robidoux. Comes back to Menkes, back to the blue line. Carroll winds up. Shot, he fired it wide. All the way around the boards. Can Park keep it in? He does. David Park with the puck. Trying to slide it through to Robidoux. Goes to the side of the net. Now Menkes to Robidoux. Robidoux back to the point. Carroll winds up the shot and the save made. Puck comes to Engstrom. Engstrom in behind the net. Flips it around the boards. Here's Engstrom in the corner right side. Stops at the 45. Engstrom skates. Goes to Robidoux. Robidoux back to the point. Carroll. Brian Carroll. Back to Engstrom at the 45. Engstrom winds up the shot right on the rebound. Cleared right back to Engstrom. He winds up again. Deflected in behind the net. Bunstone picks it up. Doesn't clear as Park keeps it in. He winds up his shot right on the rebound. Engstrom, and he fired it just wide. Puck comes around the corner. Back to Carroll at the point to Robidoux. Winds up his shot. He fired it wide. Puck comes back to the point. Park with it. Park right down the middle. Gets a shot off. It's knocked down in front, and the Sandstoners are going to clear. No, they don't. Kept in by the Red Raiders. No, they didn't keep it in. They call it out. And offsides on Massena. Looked like Park kept it in. So 7 seconds remaining. The Raiders were all around the net but didn't get any shots. They got a couple on, but not any great chances on net. Still a scoreless hockey game. 4:55 left in the first period. The Raiders and Potsdam here at the Massena Arena. Whitcup out there to take the face-off now for Massena. Nathan Whitcup along with Robbie Whitcup will take the face-off, and Matt Brown off the draw. Puck in the Potsdam zone, cleared right back out to center ice. Picked up by Kevin Horan. He'll go to Steve Smith. Smith looks ahead to Robbie Whitcup. Robbie dumps it. Raiders have to get onside. They didn't, apparently. And Brown touches the puck, and offsides will be the call. So now we'll move it back out again. No score in the hockey game, 0-0. Our broadcast also brought to you by Reynolds Metals, St. Lawrence Reduction Plant. Working together, their quality shines through. Off the draw. Puck crosses the blue line. Comes to the Potsdam D, picked up there by James Williams. He bangs it ahead to the Massena line. Kevin Horan is there. Horan goes over to Smith. Smith looks up ice, intercepted. Back comes Potsdam in the zone. Here's an opportunity, and the shot is fired wide. And a good shot by Josh War. Raiders look to clear the blue line. They don't yet. Now they do. Comes to Nathan Whitcup. Whitcup takes it out to center ice. Trying to get by a check. It's knocked down. Flips it ahead. Here comes an opportunity for Robbie Whitcup. Whitcup gets hauled down. And there's no call on the play. Whitcup stays with it, though. But now Potsdam picking it up and dumping it out to center ice. Great opportunity for Robbie Whitcup as brother Nathan sent him free. Now the puck bounces back out to center ice as they battle for it along the blue line. Smith comes up with it, flips it in the zone. Raiders are going to make some changes. Potsdam controls, flipping it, don't get the zone. Brown knocks it down. Lost his stick, though, comes back to Rochford, who's at the point. He whacks at it, but it's out to center ice. Here comes Josh War. He lost his edge. David Park steals it from him. Park circling in his own end. He'll flip it ahead to the Potsdam blue line, intercepted by Michael Morris right back to the Massena line. Brian Carroll gathers it in there. Moves it ahead, doesn't clear the zone, kept in there. Here's an opportunity in front. The shot is blocked off Tony Russell's stick, and the Raiders move it ahead and out to center ice. 3:16, no score. Bouncing to the Massena line, picked up by Brian Carroll. Carroll's headman knocked away, bounces free. Here comes a chance for Massena's Rochford. Rochford winds up, his shot is deflected up into the wall, and we'll have a face-off inside Potsdam territory. 3:03 left in the first period. And on the Evergreen Memorial scoreboard, it's still 0-0. Good chance there for Massena. Nice headman pass by Aaron Michaud right on Rochford's stick, but he couldn't gather it in and get any a good chance on it. His shot was blocked. Angstrom out there to take the draw for Massena. Off the faceoff, puck sits in the circle. Rochford trying to kick it free. It's clear to the blue line and bounces out to center ice where Kevin Horan gathers it in. Horan's headman deflected to the blue line. Angstrom turns it around. He comes back with it. He'll drop it to the D. Goes D to D. Kevin Horan with it. Horan bangs it off the boards. Rochford, he kicks it ahead, but it's knocked down into the Massena zone. And a heavy check thrown by Steve Smith. Raiders back the other way quickly. Here comes Angstrom, right down the middle. Angstrom barges his way through one, through two. Angstrom shot, short side, save made. He didn't have much to shoot at. He goes after it. His pass intercepted. He didn't get enough on it. And Potsdam back the other way. Here comes Richard Murphy with it in on the off wing. He stops out by the blue line. And now he's going to take it into the corner. Horan picks him up. The puck goes underneath him as he falls down. They battle for it there. They're both down. It squirts free. And we're going to have a hand pass called on Massena, I believe. And the faceoff will come inside Massena territory. 2:13 left in the first period. Still no score on the Evergreen Memorial scoreboard. Faceoff will be inside the Massena zone after the hand pass. Matt Robidoux's line comes out for Massena. Off the draw. Puck in the corner. Bounces right on Meacham, and he's going to cover up and hold on. As that puck went off a couple of legs and then trickled in on Meacham, and he'll hold on. 2:08 left in the first period. Still scoreless. Massena Potsdam in this Division I semifinal. Off the draw. Here come the Raiders. Matt Job does not clear the line. Comes back inside. Meacham leaves it for David Park. Park takes it. Moves it ahead. Here comes Park. He'll carry it to the right side, and he just bangs it ahead for Mankey's too far. Back to the Massena line, and they wave the icing off. After it is Brian Carroll. Carroll picks it up. Rips it around the boards. It squirts in front to the blue line, bouncing around. It comes to Carroll. Carroll looks up ice. bangs it off the boards. Ahead to Job, goes by everybody. It's going to go right in on Dangermond. He flips it ahead right to Menkes. Menkes in front, Robidoux, and it rolled off his stick. I think we're going to have a man in the crease anyway. Or is that a delay penalty, apparently, on Potsdam? Robidoux still has it. Now Job after it. He flips to Carroll. Back pass goes to the blue line and out to center ice. Raiders got a delay penalty. They got to control the puck. It comes to Carroll. Carroll. They got the extra man to Menkes. Here's Menkes, takes it across, finally poked away, and the whistle will blow, and the Raiders will go on the power play. Interference will be the call on Potsdam. That's going to go against Michael Morris. And the Raiders go on the power play. They moved the puck very well on the last power play, but couldn't get any really good shots on. Let's see what happens here. Morris gets the gate. Interference the call. So the Raiders 0 for 1 on the power play have another opportunity here with 1:08 left in the period. Robidoux comes out along with Engstrom and Menkes, Park and Carroll. Off the faceoff, David Park with it. Takes it into the corner, sets it up. Goes to Menkes at the 45, back to Park, back to Menkes, steps in front. Robidoux shot deflected. Oh, great chance for Engstrom, and he just didn't get enough on it. They did what they wanted to. Here's Menkes dropping it to Robidoux at the 45. Back to the point. No, he doesn't. He keeps it. Here's Robidoux taking it out by the blue line. His cross pass is knocked away. Raiders, do they keep it in? Apparently, but not for long, as it trickles out over the blue line. Park after it. 35 seconds left in the first period. Robidoux rips it around the board. Steve Menkes will go after it, trying to come up with it. Comes back to Park at the blue line. Park and Engstrom back there. Engstrom comes away with a puck. Here's Engstrom. Centering pass to Menkes. Menkes trying to get by the defense. Here's Menkes ripping it over on the other side to Robidoux. 19 seconds left in the period. Robidoux back to Carroll at the point. Winds up, fakes. Robidoux. Robidoux steps in front. Trying to go back to Carroll. He does, just barely. Here's Carroll's shot, high over the net. And around the boards it goes and down the ice with 5 seconds left in the period. And the whistle will blow right there as the period ends. The Raiders have 22 seconds of man advantage to start the second period, but could not picked up by Brian Carroll. He circles back with 15 seconds left in the man advantage. And he bounces it ahead to Engstrom, who deflects it in on goal, and the puck goes side of the net. Wasn't actually a shot on net. Menkes with it to Engstrom. Back to Menkes. Steps into the slot. Goes back to Carroll at the point. Carroll to Robidoux. Bounced by him. Bounces right in front. It's clear to the blue line. Park keeps it in. Penalties he lets. Park gets a quick snapshot on. That almost fooled the goaltender Dangermond. But now the Sandstoners pick it up and clear it to the blue line. Not out of the zone. David Park with it. Park battled into the boards. The bouncer still in the zone. Finally, it's picked up there by Morris, who's out of the penalty box. He'll flip it ahead to Adam Cook. Cook lost it off the end of his stick, and he wants off. And Brian Carroll picks it up and skates it ahead. Here's Carroll out of the zone. He stops, makes a shift. He'll take it over on the right side. From the red line, just dumps it on the backhand as teams will make changes here. Puck goes in the corner. Robidoux with it, steps in front and couldn't gather it in. Oh, he was stepping in front before he had the puck.
Had some room there.
Now the puck bounces out to center ice, picked up by Kevin Horan. Horan will flip it to Smith. Knocked away, back across the blue line it goes. Here's Potsdam. They got an opportunity. They had a man breaking in Kelleher, but the other guy didn't see him. And now the puck goes in behind the net. Cleared into the corner. Bounces. In after it. Massena defense trying to come up with it. Robidoux comes back to help out, has the puck. Slides it ahead, and they move it out. Matt Brown with it. Brown's got a man breaking. Menkes didn't see him. Now he'll flip to Robidoux instead. Robidoux out by the blue line, just backhands it right in front to Brown, and his stick was tied up. Brown in the corner now, looking, feeds it in front. Nice pass. Here's a shot. Robbie Whitcup fired it wide. Great pass from Matt Brown. Puck clear to the blue line, comes out to center ice. Horn couldn't quite keep it in. Into the zone it goes. Massena territory. Here's Potsdam. Little 2-on-1 break, and they fire it wide. Great opportunity for Butler. Here's the shot from the point, goes in behind the net. Butler, who's usually sure-handed, and he didn't do that one as the puck bounces out to center ice. We got a penalty behind the play for cross-checking against Massena, and I believe that's going to be Kevin Horan getting the gate.
It looks like Massena has made a couple of adjustments, at least in that early go. Looked to me like Coach Latham was sending that off wing out of the zone to try to soften up that forecheck. And looked like they had a little easier time getting out of their own zone.
So Kevin Horan picks up the penalty, and the Raiders look to kill one off here. Engstrom, Rochford out there along with Park and Carroll. Off the face-off, controlled by Williams. His shot right on, and that goes wide. Looked like it was going to go on, then it went wide. Now Rochford moves it to the blue line. Morris trying to keep it in, and he does to Kelleher. Kelleher bounces in the corner. Park with it. He takes a whack at it out by the blue line. Kept in the zone. Here's Kelleher. Gets a shot off, and he fired it wide. And he had his stick tied up, and then he got the shot off back to the point. Potsdam moving it around the horn. Here's the shot by Morris. Deflected in behind. Goes to the side of the net. And Angstrom made a great job to get back and deflect it. And here comes Angstrom along the blue line. Doesn't clear the zone. Here's a shot from the point. Deflected and sticked in behind the net by goaltender Meacham. And now Carroll moves it to the blue line. Not out of the zone. Potsdam keeping it in. Here are the Sandstoners. They knock it down in front, and Meacham's going to cover it up. As the puck took a couple of bounces here and there. And with 44 seconds left in the man advantage, the Raiders were running around a little bit in their own end.
Good power play effort on the part of Potsdam. Good puck movement. Catching Massena running around a little bit inside of there. But again, looked like a much improved power play there. They're playing with much more confidence than we've seen in the past. And a nice young team like Potsdam is going to gain with the experience of the season, and it looks like they're showing it in that power play.
Adam Cook out to take the face-off. Raiders win the draw and clear it down the ice off the stick of Steve Smith as it rolls all the way into the Potsdam zone. Robidoux in there forechecking, but Potsdam controls. They'll move it out. That's Bunstone. Bunstone, head man to Cook, who takes it across on the off wing. Adam Cook setting it up. Takes it in the corner. Smith takes him into the boards. And the puck picked up by the Raiders. They clear it, but not out of the zone. Mike Morris. Morris with it. He'll flip it on the other side. Gets it right back again. Out by the blue line. Into the corner it goes. Quick shot by Bunstone is wide. Bouncing puck comes back to the point again. James Williams slides it through the middle. Deflected in behind the net. They got a chance in front, and they score a goal. Bunstone on the power play as that puck came off the backboard right to him. And Meacham was out of the net on the other side, and the Sandstoners draw first blood on the power play.
They had shown, again, great poise on that power play, had a couple of other opportunities prior to scoring the goal. And again, the puck almost was a misdirect. They shot the puck, it came off the end boards, and Bunstone was Johnny on the spot. He was right there to shove it in the open corner.
Meacham made a valiant attempt to get back across, and he was just about a split second too late.
Well, oftentimes when that puck comes off, he's over on the other side playing that shot, and it came out right on the stick. Luck of the draw, he was right there ready to make the play. Off
the face-off, here comes Massena's Matt Jobe, gets hauled down, and the Raiders will go up on the power play as Kelleher will pick up a penalty for holding. So the Raiders with a chance here on the power play. They're trailing 1-0 now on the Evergreen Memorial scoreboard.
Well, that ought to get everybody's attention.
I would say so. The Raiders realize they're in a hockey game here, as has been the case the last few games. If the opposition scores first, then you know you've got to get some work done.
Well, slap of reality for us. We're here. It's a hockey game, and certainly Potsdam isn't going to roll over and give it to us.
Raiders on the power play, off the face-off. Here comes Jobe with it. Jobe gets a quick shot off right on Dangermond. He makes the save chest high, and he'll hold on for the face-off. This is Massena's second power play unit. Of course, they had a goal against Alex Bay on Saturday.
It's good to throw a different look out there. You never know what Joe Stark has been planning, so maybe we got a little different look, and we'll get a couple of good opportunities.
Off the face-off, Raiders back out to center ice as Park couldn't keep it in. He gets the puck now at his own blue line, starts it down, flips it ahead to Rochford. He gets it by one, trying to kick it ahead, gets it knocked away, and it bounces out to center ice. Carroll back after it. Carroll picks up a forechecker, turns it around, looks up ice. Long rink-wide pass is intercepted. Into the zone it goes. Here's an opportunity for Potsdam. And the short side shot, I don't know if that would have been on net, but Meacham gloved it and held on for the face-off.
Those turnovers are dangerous.
Yep.
One of the faults there is that we tried to get a little too cute on the offensive blue line. If that play's not there, I think you want to get the puck deep in the zone and try to gain control. We tried to get a little too cute, and the puck turned over rather quickly.
Robidoux's line back out there now. The Robidoux power play. Angstrom and Mankies, Smith and Carroll. Adam Cook will take the face-off. Off the draw, Raiders win it. It comes to Steve Smith behind the net. Smith starts out right side. He'll go on the wing for Robidoux. Robidoux's cross-ice pass is deflected up into the press box. And again, you know, those cross-ice passes in the neutral zone.
Looks like they're prepared for that. The defense is standing up awfully well. And that's the second time in here probably about 10 seconds when we've tried a cross-ice pass and the defense has been able to read that and they step up and make that play.
Coach Latham calling his two forwards over there, Mankies and Robidoux, and he wasn't happy with what he saw. So let's see what happens here. Off the draw, puck back in the Massena zone. Brian Carroll back after it. He'll drop it to Steve Smith. Right back to Carroll. No, it's to Mankies. Potsdam, a little bit of an aggressive penalty kill here, as the Raiders with a little problem, and they just throwing the puck around, can't seem to come up with it. And now there's going to be a penalty on Mankies as he knocked Bunstone down. That's going to be a hooking call, and that was an excuse me penalty if I ever saw one, but they're going to make the call. And now the Sandstoners go on the power play in 20 seconds.
Well, we talked about it a little bit on Saturday. He happened to be looking right in the right place at the wrong time for Steve Mankies. Steve certainly gave him a little bit of a tug, and he just got caught.
So 1-0, Potsdam leading Massena. We're in the second period. And now it's 4-on-4 plus the goaltenders. Face off in the Massena zone, off the draw. Puck moving to the blue line, not out of the zone. Bounces into the corner, picked up by Engstrom. Engstrom flips it for Carroll. Carroll shovels it in behind for Steve Smith, and the Raiders move it. Ahead it goes to Rochford. Rochford looks for Engstrom, a little bit too behind him. He has to come back for it. Now the puck taken away. In the Potsdam zone, Stoners move it out. They got the man back in a power play here for a minute. And here comes Potsdam in the zone. That's Scott Butler trying to go by Steve Smith, but it's poked away. Butler picks it up out of the corner, stops out by the 45. Has it knocked away. Rochford just flips it down the ice, and he's going to chase it down. Rochford going back along with James Williams, and Dangerman comes out to play it ahead, and it's picked up by Engstrom. Engstrom drops back to Steve Smith, who goes to Rochford. Rochford gets tied up along the boards. The puck's still tied up right in front of the Massena bench. Finally, it's Mike Morris coming out with it. He'll drop it back to the blue line. Engstrom after it there, he can't come up with it. Williams does. And the puck goes to the blue line and out to center ice where Rochford picks it up again. He'll dump it to the Potsdam line. Here comes Kelleher into the Massena zone. Poked away to Carroll. He'll flip it along the boards. Is he a little nonchalant with it? Puck still in the Massena zone. In behind the net it goes. Steve Smith throws a check. The puck comes back to the blue line. They move it around the horn. Here's a shot from Morris, and the save made by Meacham, and he'll hold on for the faceoff.
Nice save by Matt Meacham. He had a nice angle. He was out to handle that shot from the point. Had a good clear look at it, and really wasn't much of a problem for him.
I think we're going to have matching minors here as Brian Carroll and Scott Butler mixed it upside of the net. They're going to call them both. So 7 seconds remaining in period, or 7 seconds remaining in the Massena penalty. 8:51 left in the middle period, and Potsdam leads Massena 1-0.
We're a little bit back on our heels here, Jerry. I think that the defense are a little bit playing a very conservative, and we find ourselves with a, we're so far away from the offensive rush. I think at this point in time, our feet seem to have stopped, and that's presenting a little bit of a problem for us. We're a little dead in the water there. I'd like, hopefully they can stay a little bit closer, control the gap a little bit more, and be a little bit more active.
So we're down to 7 seconds left in the Massena penalty.
Number 8, Scott Butler.
And I'm not sure what the stoppage of play here is. Raiders are ready for the face-off in their own zone.
For getting after the whistle. The time of the penalty.
Okay. Now wait a minute here.
I'm a little confused here myself.
Yeah. How can it be 5-on-4? Okay, yeah, it's going to be 5-on-4. That's right. Because there was already a penalty when the call was made. Robidoux after can't come up with it, kept in the zone. Here's a short side shot, hit the goalpost. Whoa, that was close. And Joe moves it out to Mankies, who comes out of the penalty box. Steve Mankies winds up his shot right on. The save made by Dangerman, and he gloves it and holds on. That hit the goalpost. Wow, that was close.
It hit it flush, and it even hit it on the front, on the inside part of it, and it actually took a favorable kick for Massena. Couple slaps of reality here. I think Massena needs to understand that they've gotten a couple of breaks, that being one, and take advantage of some of these opportunities that we have.
Could easily be 2-0 right
very
now.
Easily, very easily.
Face off in the Potsdam zone. Robidoux takes the draw. Bouncing puck. Mankies keeps it in. Goes in the corner after it. Flips it into Robidoux behind the net off his stick. To Potsdam, they move it out to center ice. Into the zone is Josh Taylor. Poke checked away from him, and the puck comes to Robidoux. Robidoux clears it to the blue line, out center ice to Job. We got a 2-on-1. If Job can move it ahead to Mankies. Here's Mankies with it. It got away from him. Comes to Job. Job keeps it in, takes it in the corner. Centering pass for Robidoux, breaking. If he had a little more mustard on that, he would have had him. Here's Robidoux, centering pass. In front, Mankies shot, and it goes in the net! And the Raiders tie it up. It just barely made it, but the Raiders have tied it up. It's a 1-1 game.
You know, Jerry, that was almost like a knuckleball. He misfired on it, and I think it might have taken the goalie Dagerman a little bit by surprise, but it had just enough speed to wiggle in the far corner, and we're looking at a tie game.
That's got to be Mankies from Robidoux and Job, I would think. So the Raiders have tied it up here 1-1 with 8:01 left in the period on the Corky's Collision scoreboard. So the Raiders dodge a bullet at one end and come down and score at the other, and how often do you see that happen?
You see it a lot of times. Oftentimes you see it on the same shift.
Here comes Potsdam right back, though, and they lost it at the blue line. Raiders trying to move it out of the zone. Steve Smith, poke checked away. Back to Brown. Brown flips it ahead. And it trickles into the Potsdam zone. Back after it there is McCluskey. Eric McCluskey in his own end. Moving it on the wing, bounces high. Kept in by Steve Smith. Smith fanned on the shot, and he takes it into the corner and flips it behind the net. Oh, it took a funny bounce to the side of the net, and Dangerman's going to cover it up and hold on for the faceoff. Great opportunity for Steve Smith, and he just couldn't put the puck down.
Had a nice move around one of the Potsdam players, just getting ready to pull the trigger, and lost the handle.
Halfway through the hockey game, a 1-1 tie hockey game, Massena Potsdam at the Massena Arena. Robbie Whitcup out there with brother Nathan and Matt Brown. Smith and Francia out there at the points. Off the face-off, puck sits in the circle. Now it's cleared into the corner. Picked up there by Morris. Flips it to the blue line, and Potsdam breaks it out of the zone. Dumped inside Massena territory, in behind the net. Meacham stops it, leaves it for Smith. He rips it around the boards, and it comes out toward the blue line, kept in momentarily, but Brown follows. Here's Brown, looks up. He's going to lug it in on the left wing side, barges his way through into the corner, and gets tied up. The bouncing puck cleared around the boards, and it comes to the blue line and out to center ice. Here's Russell with it. He'll just dump it inside Massena territory. Stopped behind the net by goaltender Meacham, who rips it around the boards. Brown trying to slide it out, kept in, and the shot is blocked, and down the ice it goes. That went off Robbie Whitcup's shin. That had to hurt just a little bit, I would think. Here comes Potsdam trying to catch Massena on a break. Here's Potsdam into the zone, but the Raiders got back Kevin Horan leading the attack. Now the puck comes to Angstrom, has it knocked away. Bouncer comes to the blue line, high in the air. Here's the shot, and he fanned on it as the Potsdam player trying to come up with it. He's still got the puck, makes the move, now it's in the corner. Now we got a delay penalty on Massena. We're going to have a cross-check call on the Raiders, and Potsdam will go back on the power play. They're calling this one very closely.
Yep, it looks like they got David Park for a cross-check in front of the net. Looks like referee Humel is looking to keep a good handle on this game tonight.
That's right. That's the defenseman's job, is to clear out that front of the net, and that time he got called for it. So the Raiders will try to kill another one off here. Potsdam on the power play. Adam Cook out there along with Timmy Bunstone. Josh Taylor on the other wing. Mike Morris at one point along with James Williams. Raiders come out with Converse, Mankies, Carroll, and Smith. Face off in the Massena zone. Off the draw, the bouncer in the circle, controlled by the Stoners. Now it's knocked away by Mankies, and he just sprawling gets it out to center ice. And that's something that Steve Mankies does very, very well. Now the puck back in the Potsdam zone. It's Potsdam breaking out of there. Here's Taylor with it. Josh Taylor trying to bust his way through. Bunstone shot, save made by Meacham, and the puck goes up into the wall on the save.
Nice rush by Josh Taylor there. He came in, crossed in front of the zone, taking the defenseman with him, and really wanted to dish it off. And the goaltender had a very good look at it. They didn't really challenge off of the pass too clearly.
Face off in the Massena zone again after the save by Meacham up into the wall. Raiders, Mankies will take it against Cook. Mankies wins it, and the puck cleared down the ice quickly by Steve Smith. Dangerman leaves it. Now he's going to flip it ahead to Morris. Goes all the way out center ice. Bunstone bangs it to the Massena line. Across the blue line, Taylor again. He flips it into the corner by way of the Massena goalie. Now Carroll throws a check and ties up Cook in the corner. Cook tries to kick it ahead. He does. Now Carroll gets a piece of it, looks to tie it up again. Carroll still battles for it, and finally the whistle blows. Hard work there by Brian Carroll.
Excellent.
As he wasted a lot of time.
Excellent play by Brian. You know, typically on a penalty kill, we often see people get very conservative and want to stay in the box. Brian recognized there that the offensive player had his back to the play and really recognized that opportunity for him to be a little bit more aggressive than they typically would have been, and really killed. Probably looks to me like he killed about 12 seconds on that.
Kelleher out there now to take the face-off against Mankies in the Massena zone. Off the draw, the puck is underneath Mankies in the circle. They'll do it again as he fell down, lost his edge right on the draw, and we'll do it all over again. 40 seconds left in the man advantage, 5:30 in the second period, a 1-1 tie hockey game on the Cork East Collision scoreboard. Off the draw. Puck sits in the circle, and it's knocked to the blue line, not out of the zone by Converse. Puck comes in behind the net. Francia, he'll rip it into the corner. After it there is Scott Butler. Butler back to the point. Here's a shot blocked, and the Raiders break it out of there. Mankies again with a block. Steve Mankies just taking it in, looking to rag the puck a little bit. Now he drops it off to Converse, who takes it behind the net. Morris takes it away and flips it on the other side. 13 seconds left in the man advantage. Here comes James Williams with it. He can rush the puck. Williams takes it into the corner, looking to set up the power play. Takes it behind the net, looking back to the point. They move it around the horn. It gets away. Raiders got a man back, but the bouncer comes in front. Backhand shot blocked. Goes to the side of the net. Where is it? Potsdam still has it. Back to the point. Morris, he'll flip it in the corner again. Comes to Kelleher. He's got room. Fires it right across the goal mouth. Now it's dumped out by Rochford to center ice, and the pressure now off Massena for a moment here. Right back come the Sandstoners. They just ice it. Actually didn't even make it all the way down. It rolled the glass up into the stands, and the faceoff will come back out at center ice. 4:26 left in the second period. Tie hockey game on the Cork East Collision scoreboard.
You know, I tell you, referees or not, or penalties or not, you got to give the edge and momentum to Potsdam. It doesn't seem like Massena really has hit their stride yet tonight, and hopefully they'll find it.
The fact is, anytime this game is close, it's a Potsdam edge. No doubt about it. Here's Steve Smith with it. Headman pass on the stick of Angstrom. Here comes Angstrom with Rochford. Here's Angstrom, just builds up the head of steam, winds up his shot, save made. Angstrom after the puck, goes to Michaud, looks to center, gets it back again, in behind the net. Aaron Michaud with it, looks, takes it in the corner, then drops it for Rochford. Paul with the puck in the corner. He does the circle, drops it. Michaud trying to go back to Angstrom. Now to Rochford. It bounced over his stick into the corner. Rochford trying to center it. Gets tied up in behind. Angstrom in there battling for it. Rochford is still there as they battle for it. The puck squirts free. It's kicked ahead to the blue line and bounces out to center ice and all the way down the ice, and that'll go for icing against Potsdam. A little more spark there for Massena that time.
Yeah, with 3:37 left to go in the period, that's really about our second look at some good intense play out of our club this evening. We really need to pick up the pace here.
No question about it. We've got the Robidoux line out there now. Robidoux, Mankies, and Job. Steve's got the goal for Massena. Kind of an excuse me goal, but they'll take it. Off the face-off, puck in the circle. Mankies trying to come up with it. It bounces around. Mankies does come up with it. Mankies in behind the net, centering pass meant for Robidoux, doesn't get through, and the Stoners move it out to center ice. Here comes Bunstone, he can dangle. Bunstone trying to go by, but Park gets it away from him and flips it to Robidoux, who takes it in behind the net. Robidoux's headman doesn't clear the zone, but now it's out to Mankies. Somehow he keeps it out there. Here comes Mankies. Mankies skates in, takes it right down the middle, can't get the shot off. It comes to Robidoux. Robidoux trying to go back to the point. It's intercepted, and out to center ice it comes to Taylor. Here's Taylor down the right wing. He's tied up by Job, and they're going to call him for a penalty, apparently.
I think they got him on the offside.
Oh, the offsides, okay. I was going to say, what would that be for? But it's an offsides, as Job just impeded him enough to call the offsides. JR starting to pace behind us here.
You know, you've got to be impressed, I think, this evening, all things being told, with Potsdam really playing to their skills. they're playing especially effective inside their own end. Their positioning is very sound, and really our ability to sustain a lot of pressure just isn't there tonight.
And this is, I knew Potsdam would play like this. You just have to know it, because they're a well-coached team, and they really work hard. Puck still in the Massena zone. Mankies lugs it out to center ice. Ahead to Job to Robidoux. Robidoux has it knocked away. Comes to David Park. Park takes it by into the zone. David Park, and offsides will be the call.
You see a little frustration starting to build here on the Massena club. That was an awfully close call, and people start shaking their heads. Got to keep
play within yourself.
Keep playing within yourself, and
patience,
and have a little fortitude, and good things will happen.
Now Potsdam making some changes here. Robbie Whitkup's line out for Massena. Whitcup, Brown, and Whitcup.
I think Coach Earlbutt was a little bit disappointed in that last shift change. Really, Massena should have had the right to the last shift, and
that's right.
Potsdam wiggled a little bit, wiggled a line match out there, I think.
Off the face-off, puck comes back to the blue line, kept in at the point momentarily, but the Stoners will move it out. And into the Massena zone it goes. That'll probably be icing. No, they wave it off. And it's picked up by Horan. He'll rip it around the boards for Nathan Whitcup. Steps by the check, feeds it ahead for brother Robbie. He gets knocked down. Puck bounces free, back out to center ice. Oh, hard check thrown by Francia. One of those open ice hits. He gets the puck. Picks it up off the glass to center ice. We have a whistle. We're going to have controlling with a high stick or a high sticking call.
Looks like we got a high stick.
I did not see that one.
It was away from the play, a little bit behind the play, and I think that's number 2, Josh War, called for the high stick.
Nope, didn't see it. So the Raiders with a golden opportunity here to take the lead if they can pot a power play goal. 1:51 left in the middle period. It's still 1-1.
This is a great opportunity late in the period, really to change the momentum around. You don't like to give up a goal late in the period, but this would be a real momentum builder for whichever team can get this.
Of course, if Potsdam can kill it, that's the other situation. Here comes Robidoux. Matt Robidoux takes it in on the right wing side. Robidoux in behind the net now. So the box collapses, and Robidoux goes back to Carroll at the point. Brian Carroll goes back to Robidoux at the 45. Robidoux to Angstrom, back to Carroll. Carroll winds up his shot, deflected in front, picked up by Mankies in front to Angstrom, and it hit the post. Great opportunity. Angstrom with it. Takes it out and drops it to Park. Park goes to Mankies, side of the net, in behind, has it knocked away. Stoners control, rip it around the boards. David Park, can he keep it in? He does. Great job by Park to keep it in. Of course, he's got a rather large body to do it with. Cross-ice pass, Robidoux. Robidoux to Mankies in front. Mankies poked away, following up his Angstrom, and he fired it wide. Puck to the blue line and dumped by Potsdam. Massena with 2 or 3 super opportunities, and they just can't put one in.
Again, that power play looking sharp, as it has all year long, and we've got time for another rush.
Here's Mankies taking it by, and it's poke checked away at the last second. And it's still in the zone momentarily, but the Stoners clear it out to center ice. Comes to Carroll, 38 seconds left. He dumps it in the zone. 15 seconds left in the man advantage. Puck in the corner. After it is Angstrom and Mankies. Mankies battles for it, can't come up with it. Puck cleared around the boards. It is going to go to Tony Russell. Russell moves it to the blue line, not out of the zone. Kept in by Francia. He flips it in behind the net. Penalties elapsed. And the puck goes in the corner. Mankies after it. Here's Mankies with it. He gets tied up, flips it to the blue line to Angstrom. Angstrom steps by the check. Angstrom can't find the handle on it, and he's still battling for it. Finally flips it in front, but there's nobody there, and the puck is dumped with 4 seconds left. So the Sandstone, they're going to call icing. That's right, the penalty has elapsed, so icing the call. Raiders will have a face-off with 1 second left in the period. They did everything but score in that man advantage.
Well, I'll tell you, that was as good an exhibition as we've seen all year on the power play. Tad Angstrom had a number of opportunities. A couple of times just couldn't find the handle. But again, we show such great poise and presence on that power play. We're able to find the open man. We have a lot of confidence in our offensive abilities, and sooner or later that's going to pay off. Matt
Job will take the face-off, and all you can do is get the shot off, and he did. He got the shot off, and Dangermond had to steer it aside, but that'll take care of the get in on the right wing side. Michaud takes it in behind, gets tied up by the Potsdam defense. Zern with it, he'll move it along the boards, trying to drop it through to Murphy. Murphy being forechecked by Rochford. The puck squirts free. Rochford still has it back to the point. Carroll slides one right on the rebound, and getting up on top of it is Pete Dangermond. Gave up the rebound there, but nobody from Massena in the poke at home.
Well, the play came from deep in the corner, and certainly two players down there, and I think we had the off man ready to pick up on the forecheck, and Brian put a tester on goalie Dangermond, and he did kick out the rebound.
Off the face-off, Rochford trying to kick it through. It doesn't get there, and it's picked up by Scott Butler. Butler moves it out to center ice. Butler knocked off the puck, trying to stay with it. It squirts free, and it's dumped into the Massena zone. Bouncing in the corner for Brian Carroll. Carroll just flips it for David Park, and Park gathers it in along the boards, trying to move it ahead. Now there's a battle for it, and it squirts free, and it's Carroll out to center ice. He gets knocked down. Rochford tries to follow. The puck squirts free. Hard check's thrown there. It squirts back in the Massena zone, and it's Angstrom. And he'll just flip it ahead. Doesn't get it out of the zone, though. Bouncing puck comes to Carroll. Carroll bangs it ahead. Still not out of the zone. Poke checked away. It comes to Angstrom. He'll pick it up. Here's Angstrom flipping it ahead on the wing to Rochford. He moves it ahead. Rochford overskates a little bit. Angstrom follows. Takes it right by the middle. Pokes it in behind the net. The Raiders will make a line change here. And Potsdam breaking it out. Morris ahead to Bunstone. Bunstone just dumps in the Massena zone. Smith in back after it. Smith gets taken out of the play. The puck goes into the corner. And along the boards it comes to center ice, Robidoux. Robidoux down the right wing side. Matt Robidoux takes it in behind the net. Robidoux circles, looks, right in front to Menkes. Can't get the shot, gets it back to Robidoux, overskated. And back comes Potsdam to the Massena line, and they lose the puck. Kevin Horan flips it ahead. Bounces, and it's Bunstone with it, knocked away by Job. Job winds up. Here's Job in front. In front shot, score, Menkes following Job. And a great play by Matt Job, and Menkes followed it up, and the Raiders take a 2-1 lead.
You know, that was just an excellent effort by Matt Job. And, you know, I'll tell you, he has been a momentum setter in the second half of the season. I can't count how many times he's had a
big play.
A goal that has, a big play that has turned the game around. And again, he did it right here. He made an excellent move at the blue line. Strong skater, fought off the check, and put an excellent pass on Steve Menkes' stick, who again made no mistake about burying the puck.
So Steve Menkes gets his second goal of the game. The Raiders take their first lead. 12:54 left in the third period. Now, interesting situation. I thought for sure the official was going to call Bunstone for carrying the puck, and he elected not to. And now the puck goes up into the stands off the Potsdam stick. And he elected not to make the call, and that really set up the Massena goal. Interesting.
Well, it's a game of breaks and inches and every other cliche you can use. And certainly, if that certainly was the case, that was a break in our favor.
Although the call would not have gone against Massena, but it would have stopped the play.
That's
is what
correct.
would have happened.
Yep.
Puck dumped in the Massena zone. Meacham is going to leave it. He lost it in his equipment. Now he drops it behind the net. Comes around to Brown. Brown just looks up, skates it ahead. Pass goes right on the stick of Converse. He busts by the defenseman. Here's Converse breaking in. He lost it off the end of his stick. Great pass by Brown to Converse, and he beat the defenseman and then lost the puck at the last second. Now the puck bounces off his stick up over the boards and off the ice surface, and I think they're going to move it outside the zone.
I don't know if that, it almost looked like there might have been a little...
Yes, sir, Don. Okay, Salmon River beat Thousand Islands 3-1. That's a final. Thank you, Donnie.
It almost looked like it might have been caught in some water or something. The puck actually seemed to stop, and so I'm not sure if I can't see any down there, but it certainly looked that way.
Here's Brown with it. He just flips it into the corner. Now Robbie Witka battling for it. Squirts in behind the net. Picked up by McCluskey. Rounds the boards with it. Here comes Potsdam. That's Marcus Kelleher into the Massena zone. Kelleher takes it wide. Carroll just takes him out of the play and picks up the loose puck. He almost lost it, and he tries to clear the zone. He didn't, as he came right in front of the net. That's a dangerous play, to say the least. Now the puck in the corner again. Potsdam's done a good job of keeping it in the zone. When the Raiders look like they're going to clear, and they do it again. Puck goes in front of the net. Now it's knocked away by Carroll as he calmly reaches in and picks it up. He's going to bounce it ahead to Converse. Offsides.
We've got Ian Francia down behind the play, who's now up and heading back to the bench.
Just a little bit ahead of the play was Converse, and offsides will be the call.
I'm not sure exactly the forechecking pattern. Early in the period, it almost looked like Potsdam was in a 2-3, which would have been an extremely defensive forecheck.
Well, they'll have to change that now, being behind.
And it looked to me like they've softened that a little bit. But I'll tell you, the Potsdam first two checkers are doing an excellent job tonight. They're really putting a lot of pressure on our defense.
Angstrom's line out there now, off the face-off. Rochford with it, poked away. Back comes Potsdam. That's Timmy Bunstone. Bunstone has it knocked away at the blue line. Angstrom moves it out. Here's Angstrom with Rochford. 2-on-3. Angstrom takes it across. They called offsides. That was a late call.
I don't think that is a popular call in the rink here. I thought that was awfully close. But a good job on the part of the coaching staff here. Again, not showing a lot of emotion. I think that was certainly a questionable call, but they want to keep their players focused and not take their minds off the
face-off. Potsdam breaking out of the zone. Angstrom steals it, dumps it. Michaud just flips it in the zone. In behind the net is Rochford. Rochford drops it for Michaud. Aaron kind of overskated, moves it in front. It bounces free, and nobody can find it. Back out to the blue line. David Park with it. Park turns it around, takes it into the zone. Offsides again, the call. And Park was moving around so much with that puck that he forced his own guy to go offside.
Well, again, that was a clear call. The referees, whatever you want to say, they're in the position to make the right call. So
Raiders lead it 2-1. 10:57 left in the third period on the Corky's Collision scoreboard. And we've got the Robidoux line out there. Robidoux, Job, and Mankeys, and Steve has both goals in this game. They've been scoring at a clip of 2 goals a game the last 4 or 5 games.
He has been on fire.
Here's Robidoux. Across the blue line, still has it through traffic. Mankeys picks up the loose puck, can't find it. Now goes in the corner. He found it, he just couldn't get it. Now it goes to Mankeys behind the net. From Job to Robidoux. Robidoux to Job in front, shot save. Mankeys, rebound, save made. Rebound side of the net, and it's covered up by Dangermond. And Steve almost had his hat trick there, but just missed.
Some very clever passing, and again, I'm not really sure when this line was put together, Jerry. It was around, I think, the middle part of the season. But I'll tell you, they played. There was great evidence of knowing where each other was going to be on that. Couple of backhand passes and really passes that were on feel.
Off the face-off, puck center ice. Potsdam trying to control it. They dump it in the Massena zone. Joe picks it up, flips it ahead. Back out, back. Well, apparently it was kept in. Wow. Here's Potsdam with a chance, but Robidoux back-checking, knocks it into the corner. Stoners battle for it there. Puck flipped around in behind for Kevin Horan. Horan just rounds the boards with it to Job. Job deflects it out to center ice. Good play. Potsdam dumping it back in the zone to lay offsides on the Stoners. Puck goes around the boards as they clear. Steve Smith, hard check. Bouncing puck goes in the corner. Potsdam trying to pick it up. Mankey's back checking, does. And what do we got? Steve Smith is down, and the whistle blows. They're going to be, I don't think there's any penalties or anything.
No, I think they were calling on the injured player. I didn't see the completeness of the hit, but certainly that was excellent. It was a good, hard hit, and I'm not sure what the situation is with Steve.
He is on his knees right now. He tried to get up and then went back down again.
Yeah.
Now he's on his knees. The coaching staff out there talking to him.
Steve Smith is one tough customer, and so if he's in any degree of discomfort, that's
he got hit pretty good.
He got hit pretty good.
So we have some finals to report. The 2 games that started at 6:30 are both in the book. It looks like a shoulder is what I'm told. Canton beat Ogdensburg 5-2, and Salmon River over Thousand Islands 3-1. Right here, it's a 2-1 game for Massena with 10:03 left. Steve Smith getting up slowly. And as soon as he gets up, he'll get a good hand from the crowd.
He certainly, if it is a shoulder, he certainly, he pulled himself up with his arm, so
we'll see.
We'll see.
But certainly he's an integral part of this Red Raider team, and this is a bad time of the year to lose him, so let's see what happens here. Well, the faceoff will be back in the Massena zone with the injured player. And who do we have out there? We're going to have the Robidoux line. We got Mankeys, Robidoux, and Converse. Off the faceoff, it comes to Kevin Horan. Horan trying to center it, goes in behind the net. Meacham has to steer it behind the net. Now it's tied up. And Massena a little lack with that puck that time, a little lax, and they kind of let it get away from them. But now it's tied up, and we'll have another faceoff.
Pretty good forechecking effort off number 10 there. That would be Adam Cook. Yeah. Appeared to get the defenseman, Kevin Horan, to turn the puck over.
Off the faceoff. Puck in behind Horan again. This time he'll rip it around the boards to Converse. Converse out by the blue line, can't get it out of the zone. But now it comes back to the blue line, and it is out to center ice. Big Robidoux with it. Robidoux right down the middle, poke checked away. Back in the zone to lay off sides on Massena. And back down it goes to the Massena line. Hard check thrown on Bunstone. Puck across the blue line, right back out again. Here's Mankeys with it. He's got Converse with him. He's going to take it in, lost it off the end of his stick. Now the bouncing puck hit the official, and Potsdam will dump it there, deep in Massena territory as the Sandstoners want to change. Raiders, Brian Carroll breaking out of the zone. Looks up, then flips it ahead to the blue line to Park, to Mankeys. Mankeys takes a whack at it, knocked away. Back inside Massena territory. They get a man breaking, but the puck is cleared out to center ice by Brian Carroll. Back in the zone, Meacham stops it behind the net. 9 minutes left to play in the third period. Raiders lead 2-1. Bouncing puck along the boards. David Park with it, knocked away. Comes bouncing back to the blue line. And finally, the Raiders will move it out to center ice. It's Steve Mankeys. Here's Mankeys down the right side. Bust by the defenseman. Mankeys takes it in the corner. In behind the net. Gets knocked down. Puck cleared around the boards. Pinching in is Steve Smith, who's back out there and throws a big check. Goes to Robidoux with it. Robidoux gets railed. The puck bounces free. Who's that? That's Whitcup in behind. Whitcup takes it to the side of the net and try to get it to Mankeys, but it's wide. And back comes Potsdam the other way. Into the Massena zone. They're going to dump it as they want a line change again. And the Raiders come up with it in their own end. Francia, head man of the blue line, out to center ice. And down the ice it goes. That'll be icing. No. Dangermont plays it. He would have called icing on it, but Peter wasn't watching. And so icing is not the call as Robbie Whitcup keeps it in. Centering pass in front. Nathan shot right on. Save made. Rebound bounces in the slot. Comes back toward the blue line. And it's out to center ice. And that was Scott Butler. Can't control it. Comes back inside Potsdam zone. Nathan Whitcup racing in after it. Whitcup centering pass right in front. It's knocked away. Whitcup again in the corner. That's Nathan and Robbie, but the puck squirts free. And in behind the net, and Potsdam will dump it. They got a man breaking, and it's going to trickle in on Meacham before the Potsdam man can get there. Now it's cleared in front of the net and picked up there as Potsdam's hanging a guy at the blue line.
Watch out, watch out, watch out here. Oh, my goodness.
And back the other way comes Massena.
Jerry, we had Matt Meacham had gone to pick up his stick, which was in the corner, and Potsdam turned the puck over in neutral ice. If they would have shot it, it would have gone right into an empty net.
Whitcup with it to Whitcup in behind Nathan. He's got room behind. He's going to wrap it around. Backhand shot save made by Dangermont. Potsdam will clear the puck to the Massena blue line. And down the ice it'll go. It'll be icing against Potsdam. They've got Scott Butler, who is just parked on the Massena blue line.
They're going to try to take the forecheck away from us and look for a break. I don't expect them to see a breakaway, but certainly by taking a couple of our guys off the line, they're going to be able to break out very easily. Excellent shift by the Whitcup line.
But what that does is gives Massena some chances inside, and they had a couple of great opportunities.
If we turn the puck over and get possession, we'll certainly have the odd man advantage.
Off the faceoff, puck in the circle, cleared down the ice by Potsdam again. That'll be icing against the Sandstoners. We're down to 6:58 remaining in the third period. Raiders have a 2-1 lead in this semifinal game. The other game's already in the books. Canton beat Ogdensburg 5-2, and Salmon River defeated Thousand Islands 3-1.
Well, they're starting to go into the books, and certainly, again, Canton with that championship feeling in their blood, and Salmon River with an excellent team this year. So far, no surprises.
Face-off will be inside Potsdam zone to the left of goaltender Dangermont. That's Angstrom with the draw. Puck goes in the corner. Mike Morris, he'll rip it in behind the net for James Williams. Williams rips it around the boards, comes out to center ice. Horan with it. He gathers it in, turns it around, and hit the official with it. Puck flipped back into the Potsdam zone. Picked up by Michael Morris. He bangs it out to center ice. Bunstone takes a check. The puck bounces free to the Potsdam line. Back it comes to the Massena line. Cook knocks it inside the zone. Raiders dump it right back out. Here's an opportunity for Michaud. Makes a nifty little play. And now the puck goes along the boards to Angstrom. Angstrom turns it around. Tad flips it ahead for Rochford to the Potsdam line. Adam Cook. Headman pass to Massena. Josh War. He steps by the check. War into the corner after it. He gets tied up, and the puck comes to Michaud. Aaron Michaud, he's got a man breaking. No, he flips it just out to center ice. Comes to Morris. Morris's pass intercepted momentarily. Now it's Bunstone with it. Bunstone into the Massena zone. Trying to get by the check. He gets by one backhander right across the goal mouth. Back to Morris at the blue line. He'll flip it in the corner. Man in front, but it's going to be David Park coming up with the puck. He'll flip it around on the other side. Now the puck bounces back to the point. Morris's shot way up over the net. Comes to Mankies. Mankies trying to flip it out of the zone. Goes off a body, comes back to David Park. Park picks it up, bangs it ahead, doesn't clear the zone. Mankies throws a check. The puck in the zone comes back to Park. He whacks at it. Angstrom's pass to Rochford. Here comes Massena. Rochford. He's got Mankies with him. Rochford fires. The shot right on. The save made, and the rebound is covered up by Dangermond. And we'll have a face-off. 5:15 left in the third period. Massena still leading on the Corky scoreboard 2-1. Shots on net, none for Potsdam yet this period.
There were a couple directed at the goal, but I don't think that there hasn't been any that were in danger of going in. You know, I think it's been kind of evident throughout the game. Messina's defense, I think, has been a little tentative tonight in handling the puck. We're hitting goalies, we're hitting referees, we're hitting players on the other team. We're just not playing to our strength, and which is a veteran defense back there.
Off the face-off, puck trickles to the Massena line, out to center ice. Inside Massena territory, knocked away at the blue line. We got a delay penalty on Massena apparently. So now Potsdam's going to have a power play as soon as Massena touches it, which they do. Well, look at this turn of events. The Raiders pick up a penalty, and I didn't see that one.
Again, some of these calls are coming from slightly behind the play.
Yeah, it must have been, because I didn't see it. It's going to go against Steve Smith. So now the Raiders penalty killers are going to have their work cut out for them.
Well, we wouldn't have expected anything different here. We're going to make it interesting all the way down the line. You know, I was mentioning a little bit about the defense. I think that when you get into throwing the puck around the boards, you take advantage. You don't play to your strength, and we have some maturity back there. Great puck handlers, and I'd like to see us handle that puck a little more and be more purposeful with our passes.
Off the face-off, the puck all the way down the Potsdam zone, almost came free to Mankies. Now Robidoux after it. Robidoux's got it in the corner, circles around. Here's Robidoux with it. Battles with it right at the blue line, kicks it ahead, and it goes into the corner. And finally, Morris will pick it up as Robidoux wasted a little bit of time there. Puck out to center ice. Knocked away by Robidoux. Kevin Horan pinches up and throws it down the ice again. Bouncing puck to the Massena line. Brian Carroll is there. Here's Carroll. He's got Mankies with him. Carroll's going to take it across. Carroll takes it short side, finally poke checked away in the corner. But Mankies is there. Mankies along the boards to Robidoux. Robidoux with it. Takes it right across the grain and back out to center ice. He'll drop it to Massena defense. Carroll with it. Carroll dumps it down the ice. And the puck bounces in behind. Picked up there by Michael Morris. Morris, long headman pass to Taylor at the Massena line. Knocked away. Here comes Angstrom with it. Angstrom back the other way. In behind the net, trying to shovel it. Gets it back again. He's got Rochford in front, but he's going to waste a little time. Finally turns it back. Here comes Potsdam finally. Back out center ice. Stolen away. Rochford. Now Morris picks it up. Loses it basically to Angstrom. Now finally Potsdam back in the zone. Here's a shot right on. The save made. That's their first shot of the game. Or the third period, I should say. And that'll take care of the penalty. So the Raiders really do a good job killing the penalty. Puck squirts in behind. Where is it? In behind the net. They got a man free. They move it back to the blue line. Morris trying to come up with it. He can't. Flips it in the corner. Now the puck in the corner. Here's a sharp angle shot. Bounces in front, and Meacham's going to dive out on it. Now we got some pushing and shoving after the whistle. And there's going to be a penalty.
No.
No, they're going to be, that's pointing to the face-off. And I think there are going to be penalties.
Well, at least they're going to take 2, and that's a reasonable call.
And it's going to be Scott Butler and Tad Angstrom getting the gate. Probably hit after the whistle, I would guess.
Somebody started it and somebody finished it, and that's a pretty good judgment there.
2-1 Raiders lead on the Evergreen Memorial scoreboard. It's going to be 4-on-4. 3:08 left in the period. Let's see, we've got Job coming out with Rochford, Smith, and David Park. Potsdam, let's see who. No, now Robidoux comes across the boards along with Mankies.
With the penalties, with the action at the end, Jerry, I think we failed to illustrate what a great penalty kill that was for us. We not only did a fine job, but we had offensive opportunities as well.
Off the face-off, puck taken in front of the net by Steve Smith, and he'll move it out. Lost it off the end of his stick, picked up by Kelleher, dumps it right back in the Massena zone. In behind the net is Smith. He'll pick it up, look up ice, trying to flip it ahead, gets it back again, doesn't clear the zone. Here's a shot from the point that goes wide. Puck bounces to the blue line, and just nice play by Mankies. He gets up and gets hauled down, and the Raiders come up with the puck. It's going to be Brian Carroll with it. Carroll bangs it ahead for Robidoux. Too far, knocked away. Gets back to Carroll, back out to center ice. And that'll be, is it going to die before it gets? No, they wave. It's going to die before it gets to be icing. Puck inside Potsdam territory. Sandstoners move it back. Here's Kelleher. Kelleher, nice headman pass on the wing to Richard Murphy. Murphy takes it in the corner. He's taken out of the play, and Mankies picks up the loose puck. Mankies headman for Robidoux. Robidoux picking it up. Robidoux coming back 1-on-2. Here's Robidoux going by one. His shot, save made, the rebound in front, and couldn't come up with it. That was Robbie Whitcup. Or is that, no, that's Kevin Horan, isn't it? Yes, it was. Back to the blue line, kept in by Job. Back out to center ice. Here's Horan with it, knocked away from him. Picked up by Bunstone. Here's Bunstone, gets a shot off, that's wide. Puck in the corner, 1:38 left in the third period. Puck in behind the net, Meacham will clear it around the board smartly for Job. Job's headman off Robidoux's stick out to center, Rocheford's stick out to center ice. Dumped right back in by Potsdam. Brian Carroll after, doesn't get to it. Puck goes to Adam Cook in behind. He turns it around, looks to center, but it's taken away by Job. Job lugs it out to center ice. Headman pass. Paul Rochford, he takes it across. He's got a man breaking to Job in front. Score! Matt Job! And the Raiders take a 3-1 lead on a great pass from Paul Rochford. Of course, Potsdam gambling. They have to at this point.
Well, I'll tell you again, Paul Rochford, all year long, being a spark plug as he's been, maybe not figuring in the scoring as much as he would have liked all year long, but that was an awful big goal for him to contribute on right there. And again, Matt Job.
Oh boy.
What can you say? I mean, again, he was going hard to the net, Jerry. That's what we talked about before. He's a big body. He went hard to the net, and I'm sure gave that goalie something to think about when that puck was coming across.
And then, that's a textbook 2-on-1.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you, that's, you hear comments about it, but that's old-time hockey. It's just a big power forward going hard to the net, and his partner trying to find him, and the play worked very well that time.
Yeah, he's kind of like that big kid that plays for Philadelphia, who used to play for the Canadians, that LeClaire guy.
Big LeClaire. Hey, I'll tell you, a lot to be said for big and strong. And twice tonight, Matt Job has really factored in. And this is, I think, the second game. I'm not sure if it was Canton or not. Which game did he get 2 goals?
Potsdam.
The Potsdam. Was that? Well, then he likes Potsdam a whole lot.
So Potsdam had called a timeout. The Raiders with a 3-1 lead here. 1:09 left in the third period at the Massena Arena. Got to give the Sandstoners credit, John, and they haven't given up yet. Don't count them out yet. I'll tell you what, they are just a hard playing game. You got to give them a lot of credit because when you look at them compared to Massena, they're tiny.
They're a gutsy club, and again, they played to their strength tonight. Excellent position all night long.
Off the face-off, Mankeys with a puck. He'll flip it high in the air. Down in the corner it goes. Heads-up play by Mankeys. Picked up by the Stoners. And out to center ice it goes. Back after to Steve Smith. Smith with it. He'll drop it over on the other side for David Park, who just bangs it ahead. And Dangerman had come out of his net to play it. Now why? Okay, that's right. The goalie does not have to play it. That'll be icing on Massena with 47 seconds left in the third period.
Well, if he didn't touch it, it's not for a want of trying. Because
he waved at it.
He certainly tried to touch it and obviously missed it. And again, we get the ice. And that's an astute comment, because he certainly would not have to touch it.
No, because if another player had been back, they would not have called icing.
Correct.
That was the exact right call. So the officials, veteran crew here tonight, Dobbins and Hummel are right on top of it. Robidoux will take the face-off against Mike Morris. The net is empty.
The net is empty.
The Raiders don't need another goal. They just need to keep Potsdam off the scoreboard here. Off the face-off, puck in the circle. Mankeys, he takes it behind. No, he takes it in front of the net. Mankeys moves it ahead, flips it out to center ice. Robidoux knocked away. There's a battle for it. Steve Smith flips it ahead. Another icing? No, they're going to wave that one off. They do, wave it off. And now it's Converse in there throwing a check, and he's going to be called for a penalty. Oh, boy. As, again, that was I'm not going to say it. That was an unnecessary call, because he just barely touched the guy in the ankle, and he fell down, and Wayne calls a penalty. Of course, if he hadn't, then, Potsdam would have been yapping. And what that does is it allows Massena to dump the puck now. But we're down to 25 seconds.
It does. It's a shame to see, Chris Converse, who worked hard on that shift and got the puck turned over on good aggressive play. I couldn't tell you whether it was a penalty or whether it wasn't, but it didn't.
Off the face-off, Raiders get a shot at the net, but it's wide. Start the clock. Start the clock, Martha. There we go. Martha gave Potsdam a little extra chance there. Here's a shot from center ice by Potsdam. Steve Smith with it. Flips it ahead to the blue line. Not in the zone. Bounces in behind the net. 13 seconds left. Actually less than that. Puck, here's a shot deflected in front. Knocked around. Raiders take a whack at it. Bounces free. Here's another bounce at it. They whack at it. Bunstone. It comes free again. And it's cleared out as the buzzer sounds. The game is over as the Raiders win it 3-1. And Coach McLennan said 3 is the magic number in the games between these two teams. It was 3-3, 3-0, 3-1.
3-1.
So the Raiders need 3 goals against Potsdam, and they get 2 of the 3 in what period, John?
The third period.
The third period. It has been Massena's period all year long, and it is Massena's period here tonight as the Raiders will face the Canton Golden Bears in the championship game of Section 10 hockey. That's coming up on Friday night at Shield Arena, 8:30 or maybe closer to 9 o'clock by the time that one gets going.
How many times over the years has that been the matchup?
Oh boy, I guess so. Massena Canton, and I know the Raiders would like a different outcome than has been the case the last quite a few years. I
like Massena's chances on a nice big ice surface. I think that really celebrates our quickness, and again, this Potsdam club has nothing to be ashamed of. They played very, very hard. They were well prepared, and they really played their game plan to a T. And I think they just ran out of a little bit of steam in that third period.
Pretty much exactly what we expected, and 3-1 victory for Massena.